Thanks MechBoards for a very awesome thing to build as a test. I have here one of the latest DC01 modular keyboard prototypes. I've had it for a couple of days. I am going to build it with some Duroc linear 78 grams that I've lubed and filmed last night. And yeah, here we go. I'm probably not going to say much for this. We will see how we get on. 4 parts, all of which connect with these ports here, which are where the pogo pins live, which are spring-loaded contacts that I'm going to have to work out how to line up. And otherwise, we will see how we get on. Some Allen screws, hex bolts to undo on the bottom. In fact, change of plan. I hadn't really thought out which order I was going to do this, but I think I'm going to start with the Navpad. So I'm going to move all the other stuff out the way. And we will start with the little Navpad. All of my tools are scattered around me, as you see, within arm's reach. There is the inside of what is labelled as the arrow cluster. It's just being held in by a couple of switches at the moment. I'm going to pop that out. I think the easiest way to proceed is going to be to remove the 4 screws in the sides. So I'm just going to pop the screwdriver out 4. I think these screws need to come all the way out, and these side pieces just lift up. There we go. Those bits safe over to the side. Mind the magnets. Right, I just need to be careful of the USB port. Cool, so let's just pop these holder switches out. Really tight grip from the plate. I'll just pop those off to the side. Cool. So I've already flashed these PCBs and checked that they work. The easiest thing to do is going to be to turn my soldering iron on. So let's just test fit how these go. As I said, this is the first time I've had my hands on one of these PCBs, so this is a learning experience for me. It looks like that'll go in at that level okay. And I can cool, okay. Right, I didn't really think about this camera placement and soldering setup, but let's see. I'm just holding the pogo pins so I get the right angle on them. I've just soldered one contact for the moment, and I'm going to pop the PCB back in with these spare switches. Pins go north. We'll just see. I think when it comes to fitting switches, it's going to be easiest to stuff the PCB first. I'll just pop this left side piece on. Right, so I'm going to pop that on there. It sits nicely in the aperture. This is a bit like one of those puzzles that you get in terms of what order you have to do things. Cool, okay, so PCB is nicely down on the switches and pogo pins, don't know if you can see, are sitting nicely in the middle of the aperture, and they've been soldered in properly. So I think if anything the pogo pin needs to come up slightly, which I'm just going to do. Excuse me. So just adjusted the pogos. On the side that I'm testing. Let's just get rid of that screw, keep it safe. So don't. and just snug the PCB down, and that is looking good. So I think I've improved the alignment slightly. I am going to carefully solder the rest of the pogo pins of this side just from the top here. Cool. So let's do these other side pogo pins. These are the ones that stick out. So I'm going to pop them through the aperture in the side, or I was going to until I dropped them. Going to pop them through the side. Oh, it's fiddly. It's a fiddly thing. Let's try this first. There we go. That is quite fiddly to do. We don't want them touching the case in any way, because that is going to be bad. Just going to have a little think about a shim just to hold it up off the PCB. I have been looking at the designs to see if there is possibly a 3D printed adapter that we can use to hold these at the right level. So I'm just using a bit of Kapton tape wedged in to see if I can hold that off the side of the case, and just tack one pin in. I think I'm just going to lift that up slightly. Oh, that's hot. Let's have a look and see where that's got us. So I still think that's sitting a little bit low. I'm going to grab some tweezers, forceps if you will. Let's just have a look again and see where that's got us. It needs to be tilted up slightly. Too far. Maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna lift it. Hey, wobbly camera. I'm so professional at this. Lifted it up just a tiny little bit more. Okay, I think that is looking okay. Chase the solder across the desk. Just do the other end. Cool. Okay. Right. Pogo pins are in place. What we're on 15 minutes into this video, and we've got the first 8 joints soldered. I think I'm ready to. So now to lift out the PCB, I have to push it off the switches, as well as wiggling side pieces out, which is not too bad. It's okay. I think it might be a bit trickier on the actual main keyboard part. Right, we're ready for some of my amazing Durox that I spent 3 hours mobbing last night. What do we need? We need 10 for this portion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No stabs for this part, which is cool. Switch pins go north. Again, I said that earlier. Let's see how tight these switches are in the plate. And they're probably tighter than stock switches because I've had them open and I put quite thick films in them. Might just need to persuade them. Cool. There's one. Two. 3. Again, the plate is tight, but I have filmed these switches. They're okay, fitting nicely at the moment. I'm going to have to be really careful that switch pins are nicely aligned given what I've got to work with. Pardon me. No. Oh. Help if I close the switch top properly. 10 hours later. Right, that took way too long for me. That was my fault. I need to work on my switch modification, clearly. So just going to have a squint at these switch pins, check they're all lined up nice. And I'm going to make sure the USB port is in. There we go. And now I'm going to wiggle the side panels in. And the other one. Cool, right. Just snugging the PCB down onto the switches. Interesting, I hadn't noticed the Navpad PCB's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra switch positions tucked away for future adventures. Really nice weight to this in the hand, I have to say. Cool. Right. A little bit more soldering. Mind your magnets, they will eat your soldering iron. Oh, that's a fight. Right. You really need to be careful of the switch pins near the magnets. There we have a fully soldered DC01 Navpad. So I'm going to refit the screws that hold. Am I? Yeah, adventures with magnets. Now, forceps to fit these screws back in. Oh, magnets. Magnets good. Magnets are saving me from dropping screws. The slots on the sides look like they're meant to be able to be slid off and on, but the tops of the side pieces lock in. See? Put those pegger pins somewhere safe. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. There we go. Grab that hex key and pop the Allen screws back in. Two. Three. 4. There we have it. One fully built DC01 nav cluster. Pegger pins look like they're sitting nicely away from the metalwork. Not so sure about those ones on that side. I might just give those a poke. This may require further adjustment once I've got another portion assembled. What I might just do, out of curiosity, is whack the multimeter on continuity mode. Beep, beep, beep. I'm just going to see in continuity mode, as I said, if I've got continuity between the case and yeah, looks good. No continuity between any of those pogo contacts and the case. That's 28 minutes. I'm going to call it wraps on this portion. I will see you back for the numpad.